Have they ever run a successful business themselves? Ever? And that's why I'm here. I have launched over 100 plus companies. I have over 30 plus active companies, and some of them are real big success stories. But it didn't come easy. It came with a lot of hard work. It came with a lot of challenges. And it came with a lot of learning lessons and experience through that journey. And what I'm here to do is going to share some of those experiences with all of you. According to my experience, there are 4 foundational pillars when it comes to running a successful business: purpose, people, product, and process. Let's jump into purpose. Why are you doing this?
No worries.
Why do you want to have a business? More often than not, I have heard terminologies like financial freedom, be your own boss, but that's not enough. That's not a strong enough purpose. A purpose should be something that helps you wake up every morning. It should be basically like that star in the sky that helps you navigate through every challenge. It should be what keeps you going. Have you ever thought what is the true purpose of a business? It should be to solve a problem. Ask yourself, is that business solving a problem by elevating the pain of your clients or fulfilling the needs and desires that are unmet yet? For any successful business, its purpose has to come down to problem solving. And that's not enough. More often than not, what happens is that problems evolve, times change. The minute you solve one problem, another emerges, or the problem itself changes. What you will have to do at that point is basically pivot your business idea. It will be to navigate through the waters so that you're now tackling a newer problem. For example, in 2017, I had started a business called O Square Communications, which stood for Omni Operator. The purpose of this business was basically a call center solution allowing freelancers, entrepreneurs, and SMEs to have access to phone answering 24/7. This was to solve a problem that people were printing their mobile number on their business card, which meant if a client went to call when they were in the shower or just having time with their family, they would have missed a sale. With this solution in place, we were able to help those businesses have calls attended 24/7. Traditionally, this would have been done through receptions and offices, but have you seen the rents lately? And thereafter, those companies grew. Their problem was no longer just having their phone calls answered. They wanted someone to be able to even handle the administrative tasks. That's where O Square evolved to become O Cube, Omni Operator Outsourcing, a complete business process outsourcing business, which allowed entrepreneurs and startups at affordable rates to be able to tap into administrative services that could be handled 24/7. The second pillar is that of people. I'm sure a lot of you here believe that it's easy to hire people. Pay a salary, get the person on board. But is that it? Is that what's going to lead to a successful business? Having employees? How do you build a successful team? Is the first question you have to ask yourself when it comes to putting the people bracket in place. There is a solution, and it's not really that difficult. It begins by looking inwards. It begins by identifying what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your skills, and what is your personality for that business. And then understand what are the needs of that business that you're creating. Marry them. Understand where are the gaps. Because the trick is to fill those gaps. Also, be careful. Many a times when you're about to launch a business, you think that just because you know how to do something, you will do it. For example, I have vast bookkeeping experience with a master's in finance. But when I launch a new business, I do not consider that I'm going to be spending my time doing bookkeeping, which means there's a gap and I need to hire a finance manager as soon as possible. We have important functions: leadership, strategy, coordination, marketing, finance, sales, etc. And more often than not, the journey of entrepreneurship begins, unfortunately, by people positioning themselves as founders/CEOs. True entrepreneurship does not come from you buying yourself a job. True entrepreneurship comes by creating self-running, sustainable business. Have you thought that you probably need a CEO? You may have the technical skills, but do you have the people management skills? Do you have the leadership qualities? Again, to reinstate, when you're putting a team together, focus on the gaps. Understand that once you hire the first individual, you need to know what are the remaining requirements for that business. Then, taking that into account, go hire the second person and so on. It's more like putting a team together where you can't have everyone playing forward. You'll have to balance it out, and you need to have A-star players across if you're going to be truly a winner. In my experience, a 20-year-old company running successfully, and I and my business partners wanted to get out of it from running it on a day-to-day basis. So we did a gap analysis within us that what would happen once we exit from a day-to-day operation of that business. And what we had identified was we would have missed out on the leadership and the PR side of things, the public-facing side of things. So instead of going and hiring someone with mid-management or senior management experience from within the industry, what we did is we identified an individual that could fill that gap of leadership and PR. And thank God, because we had a successful exit last year after scaling it up. Third is the product. What business should I start? I mean, you must have heard this question a million times in your own head. I want to run a business, but I don't really know what to do. And the problem is, you probably think that we need to stand out, and that's right. But do you know that invention isn't the only way to stand out? You can stand out through product differentiation. By bringing something to the market that is faster, simpler, more efficient, cheaper, more affordable, better quality. These are many ways in which your product or service can stand out, and make sure that you do stand out. And if you're not sure, go back to the first question. What problem are you solving? Are your clients happy or sad? Are your clients going to be grateful for having this product or service in the market? That's what's going to matter. And it doesn't stop there. It's about having that continuous loop of feedback from all the stakeholders, suppliers, customers, employees, and to understand that your business, your product offering, your service offering needs to keep evolving. For example, another company called Economic Zone Management System was launched because it was about 2016, and at that point the economic zones in this country unfortunately were still reliant on printed papers. I don't know how many of you have seen those printed trade licenses where you have someone important signing it, people framing it up and stick it up on the door. So that was an era in which I had a corporate services business, and we had just gotten the contract to become a free zone operator here in the UAE. Now, at that point, we launched this technology company to completely digitize the free zone industry, to be able to generate trade licenses, which are now PDF documents, to be able to do your compliance checks and your KYCs online. And you would think we would stop at that. But what happened is that after spending about $5 million of investment into the technology, taking feedback, 5 years later, we realized that now you have AI, machine learning, better UI, UX, and you want to be more customer focused. So we scrapped the product because the architecture didn't allow us to just build on it. But that's the nature of the business. You have to keep evolving. Finally, I want to talk about the process. Focus on your customer. That's something you have all heard. But do you truly understand how to? How do you automate this mindset and systemize the mindset of being customer focused? Have you ever questioned that? Think about it from the perspective of burden. Who is carrying the burden in that process? Is it the customer? Is it the employee? Probably, hopefully, a lot of you are intelligent enough to know that the burden should be carried by technology. Begin there. Let technology carry most of the burden. Thereafter, your employees and only the residual burden should be taken by your customers. Don't ask a customer to fill a form with his or her name and then ask them to upload their ID copy. Plug in an OCR reader. Don't dump the onus on the customer to fill a form if your employees could pull out that data from a document. Second thing that you can look at is a V-shaped process. What does the customer want? What does the client want? I submitted a request, I received what I asked for. Look at your process flow. How many touch points do you truly have with the customer in that process? Fewer the number, the better the process. And you start taking all of this into account. What you have created is a customer-focused approach to your process. These pillars are not independent of each other, by the way. You can't just do one and not the other. A great purpose will allow each and every one of you to hire the right talent. Hiring the right talent will lead to creating great products. Great products will be sustained by having great process. And great process will make sure that you stay true to your purpose of problem solving. On a parting note, it's not just important to run a business and to grow a business for the sake of money. But what each and every one of you can do is look at gaining knowledge. Throughout your life, you're learning something every day. Take account of that knowledge and start chasing opportunities. Because opportunities will not keep coming all the time. You will have to chase them. And the more knowledge you have, the less afraid you're going to be in grabbing those opportunities, in identifying those opportunities. Be curious. If you want to know how to gain knowledge, keep asking the question why. Think of every child that you have met. It is not wrong to question why. It is not wrong to be curious. Thank you.